Welcome.
High energy music.
Yeah, I know,
to get
exactly.
Back
Let's get right into it. Welcome back to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Time now for everyone except Michelle's favorite game, no fence riding. I've got a series of statements for our panel. Technically only one. It's up to them to decide which side of the fence they're on. No waffling or they get called out. Let's start off here. Small market teams playing for titles should be celebrated, not dismissed. I've seen a lot of people bemoan the Pacers Thunder series, but here's the real truth. These guys won the lottery in a system designed to attract stars to larger markets. These are incredible success stories, and just because they hail from smaller markets shouldn't diminish the show they put on, and they more than proved that in Game 1 for sure. How the rest of the series plays out, I don't think is going to be a commentary on these two teams specifically, or at least it shouldn't be. Clarence, I'm curious from your perspective, how do you approach this?
Great basketball. That's what should be celebrated, and that's what we're getting. We're getting the two best teams. Teams have been the two best players, teams in the playoffs. Halliburton, small market. He's the moment. He's must-see TV. You can't turn the TV off. That's what we should be celebrating. Forget the big markets. How about great basketball? And that's what we're getting, and that's what should be most important to basketball fans.
Mike, your thoughts?
I don't know why we do this, honestly. Why does anybody who's sitting at home on the couch watching the game care what city these teams are from, unless it's your city and you obviously have the attachment and you want to root for them for that reason. But other than that, what difference does it make if they're from a big market or a small market? They're the team that won their way there. They're the team that earned the opportunity. We don't do this in college football. How many college teams are from small towns all across the country? Nobody cares that the University of Alabama is from Tuscaloosa. Nobody talks about what the market share is in Tuscaloosa. Who cares? It's what?
It's SEC. It's the big market. It's the ultimate big market.
But it just means more, Mike.
But the problem here is the media. It's the media that's doing the talking. It's ESPN promoting the Knicks over the Pacers. The Pacers are the better team. All they talk about the Knicks. That's helped shapes this commentary, this narrative.
Yeah, it does feel a little chicken egg. It's like back in the day, they only put on the bigger markets because the bigger markets were centered around the three cable stations, and they were the ones that kind of distributing. There was one baseball game on the weekend. You had to check the box score for everyone else. So it kind of funneled people toward those bigger markets back when these sports were kind of establishing themselves, and it took teams winning to kind of establish themselves as must-see TV. We talked in the break a second ago about the Lakers and Celtics kind of being the defining NBA dynasties. The Spurs won 5 over the course of 14 years, and everyone kind of dismisses them. And granted that, some of that is because their biggest star was Tim Duncan, who is less than verbal, I think is the best way to put it. But why is it that even the smaller markets in the NBA don't get the same kind of respect that like they do in the NFL? Clarence, your thought?
Again, I think it's history. And look, I love the Spurs. I'm from San Antonio. Once they stopped winning, ESPN took their primary Spurs reporter out of San Antonio. You know, they used to have a reporter just for that market. But you just go back to history. The NBA is always taking care of the big markets. And it started with Bird going to Boston, Magic going to LA, Kobe going to LA. It's always been shaped around making the big market strong.
Can I just jump in real quick, just to your point about the SEC? They're all. How many of those teams? I hear you. I see your horns. Congrats to your softball team. Listen. I hear you that's what everybody cares about. But why is that what everybody cares about? It's not because they're from bigger cities. It's because it's where the best football is played. That's what we want to see, is the best athletes playing on the biggest stages. The SEC has perpetuated their own attention because it's where the best football is played. Right now, the best basketball is played in Oklahoma City and in Indiana. It doesn't matter what size city you're from. We want to see the best games. We want to see the best players.
Yeah, that's why the SEC got 14 bids and got a few extra in basketball and X, Y, and Z. I'm kidding. All right, Clarence, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you putting up with us. Stay tuned. Mike's final take coming up next.